Hello, everyone. Welcome to Success Strategies. In this video, we'll be delving into something that is personal. We'll be delving into something you would have wished school taught you, which um, you did not know throughout your schooling days. A majority of us spend most of our lifetime going through school, but there are certain knowledge, there are certain things that is applicable in the world which we did not learn within the four walls of the classroom. So in this video, whether you are an entrepreneur, a student, or somebody who wants a change in his or career or endeavor, sit tight and let us move on this journey together. So I'll be sharing certain things which very valuable in the world of work, but were not taught within the four walls of the classroom. Let's dive into some of these things. The first thing is that your value isn't defined by your grades. Your value is not defined by your grade. School has made us to think that our grade is a function of what we become in life. In other words, school has made you to believe that, oh, if you are not an A student, the tendency of success in life is limited. Whereas this is a myth. This is not correct. Your value is not a function of your grade. Your value isn't a function of the grade you have in school. Your value are the things that are inside of you that is beyond grade. Your grade is just a measure of your academic achievement. And what is academic achievement? Academic achievement is mere regurgitation of fact that you have been taught by a teacher or a lecturer. More or less like, garbage in, garbage out in the language of computing. You are taught something, you are expected to bring it out, write it down, then somebody who is an assessor or a teacher gives you a grade on it, on your level of performance. However, there are certain things that are beyond that grade. Your values, your inner values. Values like resilience, for example, does not equate your grade. It doesn't equate your grade. You can be an A student, but if you do not have resilience, for example, you might not win in the real world. You might not you might not win some obstacles, for example, because it is a resilience that will help you to navigate through obstacles. Your values like integrity. Nobody will only employ you because of your CGPA. For example, let's look at it. If somebody is an A student but that person does not have integrity, tell me who is going to be um, who is going to feel free to associating with that person. So values like integrity is very key in achieving success in life beyond grade. Very important. Values like curiosity, very key. It's one of the key values that helps you to achieve success in life beyond grade. So school taught us that our grade is a function of our success outside school. Whereas I want to tell you that this may not be true. You've heard the saying that not your aptitude determines your altitude in life. is your attitude. Attitude contributes a larger percentage to one's success in life beyond your aptitude, beyond your uh, academic achievement. Your attitude to life, your attitude to face challenges is very important than just mere grade. So you can see that school will not teach you that. School has not taught you that. Whereas in the real world, you need all these values um, to excel. So skills, your skills, they are very key in determining your success in life beyond just your grade. Now, another thing school did not teach us is that school didn't teach us that failure is a skill. School didn't teach us that failure is a skill. So failure is a skill, is not a shame. You've heard or you might have seen teachers uh, flogging their students because they failed in their subject. This may not be correct. This may not be correct. So failure is supposed to be a skill. So show me somebody who is successful, and I will show you somebody who has failed severally. Somebody who has failed severally. There are so many countless number of successful people that had failed severally in their endeavor before becoming successful. And that is why you realize that somebody might pass through school, but the moment they fail in one event or the other, you realize that they just give up. Whereas failure is key because it helps you to learn. It helps you to learn. And there is a difference between failure as a person and failure as an event. Failure as a person and failure as an event. For example, we have all failed in one event or the other. We have all failed in one event or the other. For example, if I fail in a subject and I am made to rewrite that subject, that is failing as an event. Or I tried my hands on something and that thing did not succeed, that is failing as an event. That doesn't mean that I'm going to fail in life. But failure as a person is when you accept that you have failed in that event and you refuse to attempt again. That is failing as a person. So we have all failed in one event or the other, but accepting it that that is the end now qualifies you to become a failure, a complete failure. So several life examples are there about people who had failed. Remember Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the incandescent bulb. We learned that he had his experiment for, I think, about 999 times. And at the 1000th count, he eventually became the inventor of the incandescent bulb. He eventually got how to uh, eventually got how to develop an incandescent bulb. Imagine if Thomas Edison had allowed himself to become a failure, not taking it as an event, not taking those 999 times as an event. Our world wouldn't have been what it is today. We may not have what is called a light bulb today. So he didn't allow that failure to bring him down. He continued until he succeeded. So school didn't teach us that failure is a skill. You've heard of Abraham Lincoln, one of the greatest presidents America has ever produced. There was a day I was reading about the biography of Abraham Lincoln. I said, wow, he's, he failed in so many events. There was a catalog of different situations when he failed. He lost his wife, he lost his child, he contested for election at the primary level, he failed. If so many events, Abraham Lincoln didn't give up. He persisted and eventually became an American president. One of the presidents, one of the greatest presidents America has ever produced. So school didn't teach us that failure, failing is a skill. Robert Schuller said in his book that failure is not the end, but an opportunity to start more intelligently. So when you fail in something, except if you are a fool, that is when you repeat what had caused the failure. So when you fail, it is an opportunity for you to start more intelligently. So you may not learn that within the four walls of the classroom, but this knowledge is very key to surviving in the real world of work. So school punishes failure, but life rewards them. School punishes failure. School makes you to see that when you fail in a subject, you are a failure. But life rewards those people who fail. Look at the example of Thomas Edison that I gave, and so many other people like that. I've seen first class students who had failed in a course before, and eventually they became, a first class student. They became a first class student. Or, you can ask somebody who is a PhD, for example, who has backed a PhD, for example, they will tell you they have failed in one course or the other, but they didn't allow that uh, failing in that subject to hold them down. So I challenge you to see failure as a skill, not a shame. Though it could be painful, but move on, because oh no, the next step you take might be just the moment you had been waiting for. So every setback is a school fees that you pay for success. When there is a setback, that is a school fee. It will help you to not do what you have done that led to that failure the next time. So this is another thing that school didn't teach us. Now, another thing school didn't teach us is that money flows to value, not just hard work. Money flows to values. Money flows to values, not just hard work. So you've heard the saying that nobody will pay you for his problem you did not solve. Nobody. Nobody. And that you would have heard that saying that if wishes were horses, even beggars would ride. If wishes were horses, oh, I wish, I wish. Nobody will pay you for your wishes. People will only pay you for the problem you are able to solve. Even happily, they will be happy to dip their hands into their pocket to pay you for the values you are able to deliver. So money flows towards the direction of value creation. So that is why you must be valuable as a person. You must be ready to bring out the values in you, the values in you to solve people's real problem. Values like integrity, values like curiosity, values like resilience, some values in you like your skill, they are very key. Use it in solving people's problem, and you realize that money will flow in that direction. So when you add real value, money flows naturally. Don't just hustle. Create something people care about. Do not just hustle. We are not in the era of muscle. No, it's not how um, it's not how much muscle you put into something that eventually counts. We are in the era of methods, not muscle. Not muscle. It's not a measure of the muscle, it's not a measure of the power you put into your work that counts. It's a method, it's a strategy. The strategies you put in place to solve real problems. That is what counts. You realize that, there is no correlation, or let me say that it's not the amount of effort you put into something, it's not the amount of muscle you put into it, it's a level of values you are able to produce that counts. So in school, you are not taught all this in school. Another thing is that your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. Your network, your association is very important. Somebody said your um, association determines your allocation. Your association determines your allocation. The people around you, the quality of people around you determines your allocation, determines how much more, how what you will have. Your association determines your allocation, and that is why you must be very careful in selecting the association you belong. Who are your friends? Show me your friend, and I will tell you the kind of person you are. Your association is very important. So if you want to become an eagle, you don't want to be scratching the soil with chickens. If you are going to be an eagle, you don't have anything to do with the chickens. The eagle is a bird that flies very high than than let me say 90% of the bird in the world, if not even the bird with the highest, that climbs the highest altitude. We're meant to, I think, I read about something that there's another bird, but what I'm saying in essence is that an eagle fly a very high altitude. So if you want to become an eagle, you don't have anything scratching the soil for the chickens. The highest height a chicken can fly maybe is just the top of a house, the top of a roof. You don't want to become that person. You want to associate with people who are forward looking, who have somewhere they are going. So your association is very key. Your network determines your net worth. And that is why we must all nurture our network. And it doesn't have to be transactional. You don't have to wait until you need people around you before you invest in your relationships. No, you don't have to be transaction until maybe you want to solve a problem. That is when you recall that you have a brother somewhere, or you have an uncle somewhere, or you have a friend somewhere. It is supposed to be something you nurture over time. So your relationship, just one relationship can open doors of opportunities that will transcend your own thinking. So your relationship is very key. Your relationship is very important. So you start nurturing your relationship, and have a long view about it. Not that if you are not able to get something now, then you quit nurturing the relationship. No, it doesn't work that way, because opportunities travel through people. Opportunities travel through people, and I know what I'm talking about. Just imagine it. There is no successful person that has not been influenced by another successful person earlier. It may not necessarily mean that you'll be given chunk of money. No, it could just be an information. It could just be a connection. It could just be a referral. So your network is very key, and I want to challenge you that you become intentional about your network. Thank you very much for your listening attention. See you in other video. If you found this video valuable, kindly like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And I want to encourage you that you follow this channel. Let's uh, begin this journey together. Let's begin this journey together. Like what I've said earlier, birds of the same feather uh, flock together. So if you have somewhere you are going, you know, join this channel. Let us leave comments. You can comment on this video to see if you can comment on the video to let me know your areas you want us to talk on, so that we move together. We may not have time sitting together to do certain things, but the world has become a global room. So with this kind of opportunities, we can move together. We can move together. So let us journey together. And in few years to come, when we shall look back, I want us to, we will not be at the same level we used to be. We would have become a changed person. We would have become better people. So thank you very much for listening attention. See you in other videos.